This is the Midday Market Report for Wednesday on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Well, of course, it was a busy day yesterday, but here in the midday markets, we're taking a look at today's price action. Kenan Layden of agmarket.net, my guest today. Kenan, what's happening in the trade so far?
The big story in the trade, as far as I can tell, is the Trump update on the Iran conflict, which is going to occur this evening. Equities are up strong today. Oil is dipping below $100 a barrel in the front month, West Texas Intermediate. Metals are up and the grains are down. So after the prospective planning and stocks report yesterday, which gave, some mixed news, but markets generally react to it very well yesterday. Markets are selling off here. Oil share seems to be hit pretty hard, and that soybean oil is a large part of that soy complex pricing. So, it's down, over $1 here, $1.50, and wheat selling off hard, maybe some better forecasts there, and then war premium maybe being worked out of the wheat complex.
Kind of interesting, isn't it? Because, yes, we have the big report day yesterday, but we kind of move on from it quickly because, as we have seen here in the last, 6 months, a year, when President Trump makes a statement regarding something, whether it's conflict in the Middle East or the situation of trade with China, that tends to take the driver's seat every time for the markets.
Yeah, and that's the word I used today when I was talking with producers is it's kind of exhausting. The market can flip on, turn on a dime, and it responds very strongly to that headline news. And so you got to pay attention to, I think one of the big things right now is money flow in those ag commodities. Soybeans were super long and the soy complex was near record long. Corn, they had made a large contract, and wheat, they had flipped to a long position, which is fairly uncommon in some of the wheat contracts. So if the outside money decides to get out of those, it can really put pressure on the prices and as they rotate back into equities and other money. So that managed money CFTC report seems to be the thing to watch, and this headline news is exhausting as it flips the markets one way or the other depending on the way the wind's blowing.
What's happening on the other side of the trade with the livestock?
Yeah, livestock, the same idea, but they're a beneficiary from the same type of news. A lot of people always talk about how, the equities or the S&P and cattle seem to be highly correlated. And I think some of that is money flow into risk assets, right? So whether it's cattle being your risk asset or the equities being your risk asset, people are more willing to own those in a type of environment where we're not at war, where the economy is moving along well, businesses are profitable, people are consuming beef. So you see, feeder cattle are up, over $3 here across the board, almost $4 in some contracts. Live cattle are up over $1, and hogs are slightly positive on the day in most contracts. So they're getting the other end of the spectrum from the news, and they seem to be moving up. And everyone knows about the tight cattle fundamentals, which have driven this market for a long time.
What's the best way for our listeners to get in touch for more marketing information?
Yeah, just check us out on the web at agmarket.net.
Kenan Layden, agmarket.net. Thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Mark.
That was Kenan Layden with agmarket.net. We will have a check of the numbers next. May corn down 7 cents at 4.50 3/4. May soybeans down 10 3/4 at 11.60 1/4. May soybean meal down $2 at 3.1440. May soybean oil down $1.73 at 67.15. Chicago wheat down 20 cents at 5.96 1/4. Minneapolis wheat down 17 cents at 6.41. Kansas City hard red wheat down 23 3/4 at 6.11 3/4. May oats down 12 1/4 at 3.42. On the Merc, April live cattle up $1.23 at 244.25. April feeder cattle up $3.50 at 372.63. April lean hogs up 33 cents at 90.75. April pork cutout unchanged at 98.90. Class 3 milk up 15 cents at $17.50. This has been a check of the midday markets on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network.